My name's Jane Hissey and I'm the author and illustrator of the Old Bea books, the Old Bea series of books, and the main character in my books is Old Bea himself, and this is the original Old Bea, who was my childhood teddy bear, and I have drawn him many times working on books. And as you'll see from this illustration here, he had a lot more fur when I started books, and he's gradually lost it over the years as he's been travelling around with me to schools and libraries and book fairs and things. And when I draw, I actually set up the characters in front of me. If I want them jumping in the air, I actually hang them from little threads. If they're moving, I pin them to pieces of foam so that they're actually standing up and or walking, and they take a long time to draw, so this is why I don't draw children. I only draw toys, soft toys, because you couldn't ask a child to sit there for the time that it takes me to do an illustration. Texture is very important in the illustrations. When I'm setting up a drawing like this, which is full of different textures, felt and fur, fabric and lace and net, makes it much more interesting to draw. I like a challenge in drawing. I like drawing knitting. It takes ages, it takes longer than actually knitting the thing in the first place, but it's always very rewarding when it works at the end, if it works at the end. So I use texture a lot in my illustrations. I work in coloured pencils. I have a huge collection of coloured pencils, all the colours, and this is really why I work quite large. The illustrations are reasonably large, because coloured pencils, if you have to do fine detail with coloured pencils, you'd have to be sharpening them all the time, although I do have one of those teacher's pencil sharpeners. They wear down very quickly, so I just end up working about actual size, so whatever I'm drawing, it ends up more or less the size. So when I'm drawing, I actually have everything set up in front of me. If I was drawing something like this, I adjust the lighting. I had the little tent, I made the little tent, and set the toys up in situ, ready to draw. If I'm drawing a group like this one here, then I spend quite a long time actually pinning the toys in position with little guy ropes, little threads, so that they won't collapse in the middle of the drawing. And something like this, where the characters are set up with things like books. Actually setting the drawing up sometimes takes almost as long as doing the drawing itself. I have another character over here, Little Bear, who is pretty grubby really, but I've had him for about, well over 25 years, and he's never been washed, so he's probably a health and safety hazard. But he's travelled around everywhere. I wouldn't like to wash him now, because he might go too fluffy and then he wouldn't look like the little bear in the drawings. This cabinet actually has some of the sketches that I've done. When I was drawing the book Rough, I first of all drew a whole sketchbook full of sketches of Rough to see what positions he could get into, and then incorporated those into the story. There are about 20 books, or there have been about 20 books altogether, and the first book is about to be relaunched as a 25th anniversary edition with a new publisher. So I shall probably stay busy.